Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was born as Narendranath Datta into an affluent Bengali family in Calcutta. Vivekananda was one of the 8 children of Vishwanath Datta and Bhuneshwari Devi. He was born on 12 January 1863 on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. As a young boy, Narendranath displayed a sharp intellect. His mischievous nature belied his interest in music, both instrumental as well as vocal. He excelled in his studies as well, first at the Metropolitan Institution and later at the Presidency College in Calcutta. By the time he graduated from the college, he had acquired a vast knowledge of different subjects. He was active in sports, gymnastics, wrestling, and bodybuilding. He was an avid reader and read up on almost everything under the sun. He pursued the Hindu scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads on one hand, while on the other hand he studied Western philosophy as well. Earlier, to satisfy his intellectual quest for God, Narendranath visited prominent spiritual leaders from all religions, asking them a single question: Have you seen God? Each time he came away without a satisfying answer. He put forward the same question to Sri Ramakrishna at his residence in Dakshineshwar Kali temple compounds. Without a moment's hesitation, Sri Ramakrishna replied, Yes, I have. I see God as clearly as I see you, only in a much deeper sense. Vivekananda, initially unimpressed by the simplicity of Ramakrishna, was astonished with Ramakrishna's reply. Ramakrishna gradually won over this argumentative young man with his patience and love. The more Narendranath visited Dakshineshwar, the more his questions were answered. In 1884, Narendranath underwent considerable financial distress due to the death of his father, as he had to support his mother and younger siblings. He asked Ramakrishna to pray to the goddess for the financial welfare of his family. On Ramakrishna's suggestion, he himself went to the temple to pray. But once he faced the goddess, he could not ask for money and wealth. Instead, he asked for vivek, conscience, and vairagya, reclusion. That day marked the complete spiritual awakening of Narendranath, and he found himself drawn to an ascetic way of life. After the demise of Sri Ramakrishna, around 15 of his disciples, including Narendranath, began to live together in a dilapidated building at Baranagar in North Calcutta, which was named Ramakrishna Mutt, the monastic order of Ramakrishna. Vivekananda left the Mata in 1886 and went on a tour of Bharat on foot, Parivrajak. He travelled the breadth of the country, absorbing much of the social, cultural, and religious aspects of the people he came in contact with. He witnessed the adversities of life that the common people faced, their ailments, and vowed to dedicate his life to bring relief to these suffering. During the course of his wanderings, he came to know about the World Parliament of Religions being held in Chicago in 1893. He was keen to attend this meeting to represent Bharat, Hinduism, and his Guru Sri Ramakrishna's philosophies. He found assertion of his wishes while he was meditating on the rocks of Kanyakumari, the southernmost tip of Bharat. Money was raised by his disciples in Madras, now Chennai, and Ajit Singh, Raja of Khetri, and Vivekananda left for Chicago from Bombay. He faced insurmountable hardships on his way to Chicago, but his spirits remained as indomitable as ever. On 11 September 1893, when the time came, he took the stage and stunned everyone with his opening line, My brothers and sisters of America. He received a standing ovation from the audience for the opening phrase. He went on to describe the principles of Vedanta and their spiritual significance, putting Hinduism on the map of world religions. He spent the next 2.5 years in America and found the Vedanta Society of New York in 1894. He also traveled to the United Kingdom to preach the tenets of the Vedanta and Hindu spiritualism to the Western world. During his visit in England, Margaret Elizabeth Noble, later Bhagini Nivedita, met him and became his disciple. Vivekananda returned to Bharat in 1897 amidst warm reception from the common and royal alike. He reached Calcutta after a series of lectures across the country and founded the Ramakrishna Mission on May 1, 1897 at Belur Mutt near Calcutta. The goals of the Ramakrishna Mission were based on the ideals of Karma Yoga, and its primary objective was to serve the poor and distressed population of the country. The Ramakrishna Mission undertook various forms of social service like establishing and running schools, colleges, and hospitals, propagation of practical tenets of Vedanta through conference, seminars, and workshops, initiating relief and rehabilitation work across the country. His birthday, Jan 12th, is celebrated as the National Youth Day.